Howdy guys. So I hear you want to make a Hytale plugin. Well, you're in the right place because today I'm going to show you how to do that. So this is a GitHub repo, which is a template for how to build a plugin. It has a kind of basic, very simple plugin in it, and you can edit it, you can build it, and you can put it on your server, and it will work just fine, and it can be a cool starting place for you to build your own plugin. And so this uses the Bazel build system. This doesn't use Maven or Gradle, it uses Bazel, which is a different kind of build system, but it's up and coming. It's used by a lot of big companies. It's very cool, modular, scriptable. It's very cool. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do this. So if you know how to use Git, then just clone the repo. You know how it works, and open it with VS Code. If you don't know how to use Git, then I'm going to post this URL in the description. You can go to it and then clone the repo by coming here to code, clicking copy, going to your terminal. Go ahead and open a new directory for this, and we're going to do git clone. I'm going to paste that in. I'm going to call it my-cool-plugin. Press enter. It's going to clone. Awesome. Go into that directory. I'm going to open it with VS Code. And we're in. So here is our template. We're actually not going to be working in this directory. We're going to be working inside of the dev container, which is going to clone this. If you see this, you can click reopen a container, but if you don't see this, that's fine. Just click X and we'll get there. So here's what you're going to do. Go to extensions. You're going to want to get the dev containers extension if you don't already have it. You don't need the Bazel or Bazel for Java extension because they will be installed automatically for you in the dev container. But make sure you have the Java by Red Hat. Make sure you have this one. This is going to help you to index things and yeah, it has IntelliSense, formatting, stuff like that. So we have our template. So what we're going to do now is start the dev container. So make sure that you have Docker running. It's going to start a new container in Docker, which you're going to connect to with VS Code, and the whole project's going to run in the entire container. You don't have to have any files on your system at all. It's going to auto download everything. It's very cool. So we're going to do Command P or Control P. We're going to do this right arrow, the right caret for command, and then we are going to find dev containers rebuild without cache and reopen a container. You can just search that up by doing dev containers rebuild without cache and reopen container. Click that. It's gonna do this. It's gonna reopen it. Very cool. Nice. I'm gonna show the log. I'm just gonna leave this be while it goes. I'm going to come back to you when it's done downloading some dependencies and stuff for the container itself, and then I'll get into the setup script that's going to run automatically. You don't have to do anything. It's going to do it all for you. So I'm just going to come back in a sec right now. Okay, I'm back. So the image has been, or the container has been created. We can see that with Docker PS. Here we go. Here's our container. Awesome. Notice how we have 5520 on UDP forwarded. We'll get to that in a sec. So get rid of that. So now our setup script is actually running right now, which is setting up the container itself, and that's going to be downloading the server assets, the server jar, and some other dependencies that are going to have to be used for the plugin to build the plugin. And so that's just going to download. It's going to be pretty quick, even though the assets file is pretty big. It's going to put it in a folder, which I'll show you exactly where it is, where the server is, but it's not in this workspace folder. I'll show you. Okay, so now it's done down the assets. It just downloaded the jar, and you can actually see where it downloaded to, which is home server. This is the directory. So it should say deployment set to complete. We're ready to go. I'm gonna press a key, any key. I just press G, whatever, and gonna open a new terminal here so we can see the workspace. Well, ls. Here's the workspace. Here's our actual plugin workspace. Right now, we're gonna go to the server just so I can show you what it is. We're gonna go cd home server. ls here. So here's the assets, the jar, in the start server script. Here's what the start server script looks like. It's very simple. That is it. This is going to allow us to start a server. So before we do that, I'm going to get into how to actually develop the plugin here. So go ahead and go back to your workspace. So you can just do workspace, cd workspace. We're back. So what you're going to want to do is build the project. And that is actually really easy because there's a build script already here. You can just execute it. What it does is it generates the module Bazel file, which is a dynamic Bazel workspace file, which is dynamically generated based on the Maven dependencies JSON. This is where your Maven dependencies are going to be. There's no Gradle, build.gradle or build.gradle KTS, or no POM XML. It's going to be in here. This is where you edit your dependencies. It's very simple. you can see the format. You don't even need to use these variables. I just use them if there's duplicated ones, like this. But, you can just add a new dependency just by doing, there you, so there's our AI suggesting whatever. So that's, you just call that whatever you want. This can be anything, and then put whatever you want here. This is the dependency string. So that's, it's the group, the artifact, and then the version separated by colons. You can put anything from Maven Central in there. If you want to add new sources, I'll show you how to do that another time. It's a little more complicated. It's kind of more of an expert level kind of thing. And you can do that pretty simply in a POM XML or in a build Gradle. And it's also really easy to do with the Bazel template. However, I'm not going to get into exactly how Bazel works just yet. That'll be another video. So we're back here. I'm going to go ahead and run the build script. It's just build.sh. It's going to generate our module Bazel. This is a required file for any module, any Bazel project, and so it doesn't come with one because it's dynamically generated by the template. So you can just leave it there once it's generated, or you can it's in the git ignore, so it won't go on your repo. Which is good. So you can dynamically generate, make sure your dependencies are up to date, and it's going to keep building. And I'll just come back to you when it's done building. So it built the jar file. We're done. But it put it in a place. I have no idea where it went. Actually, I do, but you don't need to know where it went. I'll show you how to get there in a sec. So it built the jar file, which is great. That all works. But I actually want to look at the plugin code here. So we can see there's a directory called plugin. This is where our plugin code is going to live. I apparently am supposed to be sleeping right now, but I'm not going to be doing that. So here's where our plugin is supposed to be living, and we have a source, main, Java, and then we have our package here, org example my plugin. So this is our TLD, our domain, and then our little our artifact ID. And so here's the sources. We have my plugin Java. We have a command thing. We have a command in here. Okay, very cool. Some demo stuff. You may notice a bunch of red. That is not good. Actually, that's great because that means we haven't indexed anything yet, and that's good. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that. If you don't see red, then I guess you're good to go. Just to test it, press Command and then click. Yeah, Command and click on Java plugin or any of these, COM Hytale, COM Hypixel Hytale packages to see if it's on the class path yet. If not, that's okay. We're going to do Command P. I'm going to go ahead and do, Java, clean Java language server workspace. Enter. You see this, click reload and delete. Well, that's going to delete some cache stuff and then reindex our dependencies and all that. You may see some red again, but it should fix it. It's going to say open Java projects. Okay, and it's still white, and now it's blue. We're going to enable null annotations. You don't have to do that if it doesn't come up. It's all right. So we're going to command click to make sure it's there, and there's our decompiled class. Very cool. So it's working. The dependencies are working. And let's rebuild just to make sure it all worked. And also, I'm going to click always for this. Cool, it works. And I'm going to rebuild it one more time using using the same one. Or no, just Bazel build. Just to make sure the caching is working. One more time. Okay, so the caching is working. Very cool. So we'll just get into the code here. So here's some setup stuff, and here's a command, and you can see the command is called example, and it is registered here. And we have like a debug, a little info logger coming up in the console here with a random key that comes from keyutil. Well, what is this? Well, we can't click on it. Our indexing is broken here. So if we go to libs, open this up, make sure this works. Yeah, that still works. I'm just going to clean the Java language server workspace one more time. Sometimes it needs two go arounds to make it work. And cool, so now we're indexed. And you can see here there's actually another target here. It's under libs, common API, and we have another source main Java org example common API, and we have some classes here. This is the class that generates that random key. It's just a utility just to make sure that the dependency shading is working. And so you can add as many of these libs as you want here. It's common API, other stuff. You can have your modular code separation, so you don't have to clutter up this plugin. You can have this plugin just be the implementation and the API up here. You can do anything you want. You can export jars from here. So I'm going to get into actually how to run our plugin. So we have our plugin code, and it's ready to build. We already built it. It works. So I'm going to actually run the deploy script instead, which is going to copy it into the mods folder by default. So if we just do, let's actually just go to the cd home server, cd. Oh, there's no mods yet because we haven't started the server. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm just going to run the deploy script, and it's going to copy it into that folder, create that folder and copy it in. And we do ls again. Now we have the mods folder, cd mods. Oops. We have example plugin. There we go. So we're going to start the server. Very simple. Just do /start server. It's going to start our server. And then once this starts up, we actually can't join it yet. We have to authenticate our server. So I'm going to do auth login device. Press enter. I'm going to click the or visit one because it has the code in it already. Open. You're going to have to authorize this. You may have to log in, maybe not. Yeah, I do. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Now we're good to go. So we go back to this. We can see that it is successfully authorized. And so now I'm going to open up the Hytale launcher. Sweet. So we're going to go to servers. Here's our dev container server. I already set it up. It's going to be our localhost, or I'm going to bind it to 127.0.0.1. And then the port is 5520. That's UDP. And we're going to double click. You can see in the console, it has already recognized we're joining. And you can see a bunch of packets coming through. Very cool. And so here we are. Nice. We got some particles effects. Oh, look at that. Okay. So I'm going to test out our command. We know it's example /example. So I'm going to do that. Oh, I don't have permission to use the command. That's fine. I'm going to do add my username. It's going to make me an operator. And there's our title. That title comes from the command. You can see it's creating a new title and giving it to our player. And there you go. That's pretty much it. So our plugin is successfully built and put into the server. And it's all in a dev container. So you don't have to do any kind of setup on your machine. It's all just ready to go. So yeah, I mean, there you go. There's our project. And feel free to leave a comment or send me an email or something if you want some help with it or any of that. And I'll be happy to answer any questions. And yeah, happy coding.